Canine Boot Camp, and it's been a very long week. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week I spent taking care of Mazikeen because she had a pretty severe allergic reaction that just did not want to go away. So the first night I was up until 1 a.m, then had to rush her to the emergency vet. Then the next day we got her into the vet again, and then the next day. So between that and the guinea pig being sick, it's been a little rough. Well, plus work, you know, I work 2 jobs, training, and then my second job. So it's just a busy week. Lots of money has been spent, but who doesn't want a little bit of a training video after a long week? Who doesn't want to do that? So today's video, we're gonna go over how to teach your dog to be quiet. Thing that a lot of people struggle with. I mean, dogs like to bark, especially on their own property. They see someone coming up and they're like, hey, this is my house. They gotta vocalize that. And then if you have a super friendly dog, second that person walks up to them, they're like, great, you came to me, now what's up? But it's a common struggle. Mazikeen was very vocal as a puppy, and I feel like it's gotten worse as she's gotten older when it comes to excitement. When she's overly excited, it's like she turns into a full husky. She's out of this world. But because I've taught her how to be quiet, it's controlled now. So now, instead of just having to deal with it and just kind of trying to get her to redirect, I can just tell her quiet, and she's like, okay, enough is enough. The thing that I like to tell everyone is I don't force my dogs to be quiet all the time. I think that's ridiculous. My dogs they're allowed to bark in the home 3 times, and then once I usually allow those 3 barks, and then I say quiet or Gage is enough, and then they're done. No more barking. We're done. I hear you. I understand that someone is outside the house. You can stop barking now. Because I still want them to be able to alert to me in their own way and alert to people coming onto their property or other animals. Hey, I'm in here, this is my property, because that's just how they want to do it. That's their natural instinct. I'm not going to completely take that away, but we don't need to keep barking for 20 minutes after something has come and gone. So it's really just about stopping that excess. Like, Mazikeen is still going to whine and scream really when she is overly excited. I still allow that to a point, and then once she gets to that point, I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous now, be quiet. And she's like, okay. So how did I teach this? First, you want to teach a speak command. So the way that you teach speak is you want to get them frustrated. So I use treats with her because that's usually what gets her the most excited most of the time. So I just use treats, and then I put them in front of their face. Mazikeen, hey, come here. I put them in front of their face, and I just keep teasing them with it. This seems mean, but it's really not. You're just trying to get them to vocalize something. And then I don't have treats in my hand, so she's like, what are you doing? But once they vocalize, you're going to reward that. You're going to say, yes, good speak. Reward. It doesn't matter if they actually bark. You're not trying to achieve that right now. You're just trying to get them to make some kind of noise, and then you're going to reward that. Eventually that should build up to an actual bark. Oh, there's your head. Eventually that should build up to some kind of bark, but right now it doesn't really matter. You're just teaching them to do it, so you're just trying to reward any sort of noise to be like, yes, that's what I want. I just want noise. And then once you teach the speak command and they have it down, that's when you teach the quiet command. It just makes it easier for everyone in the situation, because now you can tell them when it's okay to bark, and you can tell them when you need to be quiet. It makes it easier because you can initiate the barking and make them quiet and teach them the quiet command instead of just waiting for them to bark at something. So Mazikeen knows her speak command. Mazikeen, stop. Yes, good girl. Okay. A little ridiculous. Good girl. Stop. Yes, good girl. She tends to just do it once, but if I just keep going, Mazikeen, stop. Yes, good girl, quiet. That's it. So as you can see, she loves speaking. That's probably one of her new favorite commands. Newer. Wait, she's actually known it for a while. I just haven't really used it much on my channel because it's not something that we really use much for a purpose. It's really just for fun. But as you can see, she loves it. She gets so excited, she'll jump up on you, which we're fine-tuning, because loud does not mean jump up on me. It just means to speak. But she gets a little too excited about it, so we're fine-tuning that. But the way I teach the quiet aspect of that is very flat quiet, with the treat in my hand, of course. I just say quiet. I use this for her speaking command. I'm trying to make sure she can't see this. I use this for her talking command, and then when I want her to be quiet, I just say quiet. Because she knows what loud means, she knows her speaking command, and she doesn't recognize the quiet command, she's going to think about it. The second she gives me a good 2 seconds of quiet, I reward her for that. That's what I want. Yes, good girl. So you're teaching them loud, quiet. Not loud. You don't have to use loud. You can use whatever you want. You can use speak, talk, bark. Like, you can literally use whatever words you want. It doesn't really matter. I just use laut, which just means loud in German. All you want is to get them going, get them barking, get them talking, and then just switch the command. Quiet. Calm yourself, because when I teach a dog to talk, I get really excited. I really boost the energy. I'm like, yes, go, 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 talk, talk. And then when I say quiet, I just relax and say quiet. That's enough. So yeah, that's really all there is to it. Some dogs, once you get them talking, they may not want to stop. So if your dog isn't quite like Mazikeen, or like most dogs where just switching the command and changing your body language isn't really going to get them thinking for a second to get them to be quiet, you can also use other commands to teach quiet. So just throw another command out. I know some people use focus. Yes, good quiet once they're focused and quiet. Some people will wait out for them to stop barking after they've initiated the speaking command, and then say yes, good quiet once they get 2 to 3 seconds of quiet time. Some people will distract the dog with something else. I don't prefer that method, because all they're really learning is, well, when I'm done I get a reward. They're not really learning how to be quiet on command. So in a real life situation where they're really barking at something, the quiet command isn't really going to come into play as well usually, but it could work for some dogs. But my preferred method is just to really get excited with them, really boost up the energy, and then relax myself, calm myself, and be like, quiet. And then I just wait it out. It can take some time, but I just wait it out, because eventually they're going to stop barking. They're going to want whatever reward you have in your hand, and they're going to try to figure out what you want them to do for it. All you want them to do is be quiet. So I just wait it out. Okay, you talked, quiet, wait. 1, 2, 3. Yes, good, quiet, reward. That's really all it is. It's pretty easy to teach. And keep in mind, just like everything else, you could get to a point where you're doing really, really well when you're telling them to talk and you're telling them to speak, and then you can get them to quiet down. You still have to work this in real life situations where they really want something and they're vocalizing about it. It's not going to transfer super easily, but they do know the command now. They know what you're saying. They know what you're trying to get them to do, so they should listen. But in real life situations, you may not be as interesting as whatever they're barking at or whining at or screaming at. So it's all about getting their attention back to you and then being like, okay, quiet, that's enough. Mazikeen has learned this command so well that she almost treats quiet as a subtle command. So an example is, I had a client dog here. That dog was very talkative. She was extremely talkative, like could have swore I heard some words come out of her mouth. English words. She was so excited. She was going, probably a good 10-15 minutes of them just screaming at each other. And then I was like, okay, quiet. And then she put herself in a heel, sat down, looked at me, and was quiet. and that's the point that you want to get to, but it takes time to get there, especially with a dog that just is super talkative. It can take some time to get to that point, but you're applying this to training sessions first to teach them what this means. What does quiet mean? Because again, they're dogs, they do not speak English. And in real life situations, what else are you gonna do? They don't know how to be quiet on command, so now you're just forced to try to redirect them. And it can be much quicker when you just have a command to pull out for it. So that's how I teach it. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or whatever, you can leave them down below. If you aren't subscribed, you can do what you want. And you can follow us on Instagram at Kylie's Service Canines or Facebook at Kylie's Canine Bootcamp. You can message me there if you have specific questions or you just want to see updates. They're all going to be on those. Usually Instagram and Facebook knows when I'm not going to be posting a video that week because this happened or this happened. Like my Instagram, I'm especially active on. And they kind of knew that they've known she's had hives. Those of you that are on my Instagram, you knew how bad that reaction was and how horrid it was. So things have been a bit delayed on the YouTube channel. Life is not being very nice, but we're back this week. I don't know when I'll be able to come back again, but eventually I'll do another video. I think the next one I'm probably gonna end up doing is the Rottweiler video. Rottweilers as service dogs, because that was probably the most requested on the breed video. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time I have time to film a video.